get your gear personalized. Fans can get official state championship apparel at our official online store. You pick it, we'll make it with our digital to garment technology, hot off the press and sent straight to you or at your next championship game. Check out Team IP's booth or visit taps.teamip.com.
Sports officials. Sometimes you love us, sometimes not so much. But the fact is, the game you're watching right now can't be played without us. Do you have what it takes to be an official? Are you willing to step up and give back to our student athletes? Why not join the 15,000 Texas Association of Sports Officials members that are dedicated to help make Texas junior, middle, and high school athletics the very best? Never officiated before? Don't worry. TASO will provide you the training you'll need. Why not make your first great call by contacting us today at taso.org. That's TASO.org.
Go all in all the time.
All the time.
This is Game Time.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Brandon Brunson, Texas High School Baseball Magazine and website, with you here on the broadcast of the 2019 TAPS State Baseball Tournament from Crosby High School, Crosby, Texas. Another beautiful day for baseball, as it was yesterday. Our broadcast partner Mike Weber has slid across the aisle to cover the TAPS State Softball Championships that begin today. It's a huge day of baseball and softball with 8 games going on. Lots of activity here for championship morning for the Division I baseball state tournament. This game is going to feature the Liberty Christian Warriors. They will be the visiting team today in their dark blue with gray pants against the home team, St. Thomas Eagles, dressed out in all white with the red hats. So Liberty Christian is the defending Division I state champion. They won this thing last year in Crosby. St. Thomas looking to unseat them. Should be an excellent ball game. We've got Jacob Hasty pitching for the Liberty Christian Warriors. He's the LSU signee. And for St. Thomas, it's going to be Tucker Alch taking the mound to try to bring a championship or keep a championship here in the greater Houston area. Liberty Christian Warriors, the visiting team, led by head coach Johnny Isom, who, as we mentioned yesterday, will be moving to become the athletic director at Liberty Christian School, so he's looking to go out on top here today. His assistant coach is Billy Jordan, an LCU alumnus. Also Craig Oglesby, Eric Howell, and Mark Henderson. St. Thomas, led by first-year coach Adam Maciate. He's assisted by Austin Carden, Jeff McCurry, Kirk Jankowski, Richard Porth, and Luis Sanchez. Yesterday, quick recap of that action. St. Thomas won over Concordia Lutheran. Concordia Lutheran had beaten St. Thomas 3 times in the regular season. And yesterday, St. Thomas exacted their revenge with a 1-0 victory over the Concordia Lutheran Crusaders, who are a regular participant in the state tournament. So today, Liberty Christian will come in with the record of 24-13-1. St. Thomas will come in with a record of 23-11. Both teams on the field getting in their warm-up tosses. A beautiful facility here in Crosby, at Crosby High School, with extra softball and baseball warm-up fields. So the teams are able to take advantage of an extra field to get ready before their game starts. After this game, the 10:30 game, at 1:30, we'll have our second championship game of the day, the Division II championship, which will feature the Fort Worth Christian Cardinals going up against the defending Division II state champion Lutheran South Pioneers. Yesterday, Fort Worth Christian won in walk-off fashion over St. Michael's, 4-3 in 8 innings. And the Lutheran South Pioneers, in another pitcher's duel, won over the Incarnate Word Angels of Corpus Christi, 3-0. Runs were at a premium yesterday. We had a 4-3 game, a 3-0 game, a 1-0 game. We saw the most of the number 1 pitchers, but a lot of these teams feature not just a 1 or a 2, but like a 1A and a 1B. So we expect another day where runs will be at a premium, and where maybe offenses will have to do something a little different to try to get runners on base and into scoring position so that they can scratch across a run against some of this dominant pitching. As I mentioned, a beautiful morning here in Crosby. 78 degrees, and again, looks like we're going to avoid the rain today. A few clouds in the sky, but the forecast appears to be good. It is, for a West Texas guy, a little bit humid here, but nothing unbearable. It has been much worse, and we are happy to be avoiding the rain as much as we possibly can. I know the track championships were scrambling a little bit last week as they had to deal with that rain. A little bit more about Liberty Christian. We mentioned yesterday Coach Johnny Isom. He's actually from Urbana, Illinois. Graduated from Crowley High School, was drafted a couple of times 358 career wins, 194 losses, 7 ties. Got his 300th win in 2017. District champion 7 times, 14 playoff appearances, 9 state semifinals, 4 state finals, and 3 state championships. As the coaches head toward the home plate area for their plate meeting, Coach Adam Masiate and Johnny Isom exchanging lineups. Craig Oglesby, one of the assistants for Liberty Christian, he's been there 11 years and been a part of those 3 state title teams. Billy Jordan, as I mentioned, was an assistant coach for Lubbock Christian University in 2009, and in 2009 Lubbock Christian University won a national championship. He has assisted at Liberty for 8 years and been a part of 2 state title teams. Speaking of Lubbock Christian, the high school will be here later today in a Division 3 semifinal game, and the Lubbock Christian University Chaparrals were knocked out of the Heartland Conference tournament, but they received an at-large bid to the national tournament, so they'll be playing in Angelo State for the right to advance to their World Series. A lot of talent here. We'll talk about the commitments from some of these young men from both teams as we go through the day. Go ahead and mention one. Last night, Josh Wolf pitched St. Thomas into this final game. He is going to go play at Texas A&M next year. And Brody Logsdon, the center fielder for St. Thomas, has committed to Sam Houston State. So those are the 2 that I'm aware of from St. Thomas. As we continue to have the plate meeting and lay out the ground rules. For Liberty Christian, Colson Powers, their catcher, is going to head out my direction. He'll play for the Midland College Chaparrals next season. Brett Huff, very strong hitter for Liberty Christian. He will be going to Hill College. Mason Packwood to Wheaton College. Noah Hopkins to Webster University. As I mentioned, Jacob Hasty to LSU. Joe Wolf, who pitched yesterday's game, it will be headed to Seward County College next fall. Pryor Thomas to Harvard University, and Hayden Winter to Cornell. So some young men, not only great on the field, but outstanding in the classroom. And we will look forward to seeing the athletic talents on display today, as we are just looks like moments away from finishing up this plate meeting. Liberty Christian with their pregame prayer, they're back into the dugout. Same for St. Thomas. They make their way back into the dugout. And as we say, we should be moments away from the invocation, the welcome, the invocation, and the national anthem. Softball, as I mentioned, going on behind us. Don't have an update from that. For those of you listening in, tell a friend. TAPS TV and TAPS Radio. So if you go to taps.biz, click the TAPS TV link. It'll take you to the paywall. If you want to see the video, and it will be archived, you can watch later. If you're on TAPS Radio, you can listen to that broadcast absolutely free. So we are so thankful for those of you that tuned in yesterday and watched and listened. Grateful for that. Do want to get one more plug in for TexasHighSchoolBaseball.com. That's TexasHighSchoolBaseball.com. We do a website and a preseason magazine. Magazine is still available if you're listening in the stadium today. I do have a few copies for purchase available. You can go to the website, and folks, let me tell you, that is the website to go to for all of your playoff action, not just TAPS, but from 6A down to Class 1A. In fact, we have coaches calling us all the time during the week looking for information. So that is the place to go, TexasHighSchoolBaseball.com. Grateful to the crew at TAPS, Brian Bunselmeyer, Executive Director, Steve Prudhomme, the Associate Director, Robert Huckabee, Director of Compliance and the Athletic Director. Those 3 steer TAPS in a very good manner. Appreciate their hard work here. Also, Will Dixon, Kelly Bay, Rhonda Smith, and our producer today on the baseball side, John Skis. This event went very well yesterday, as smooth as I think it possibly could have gone because of the leadership of these folks at TAPS, and I want to extend my thanks to them for allowing me to come and be a part of this broadcast. On a personal note, this is one of those things that I wanted to do since I was a little kid and have gotten the chance to do it and be here, so I am very grateful for the invitation. what a better job than to come watch baseball all day for 4 or 5 days in a row, even if I had to come 450 miles from Midland, Texas to do that. So we are waiting on, I'm not sure what we're waiting on. We will have the introduction shortly. Umpiring crew ready to go. Dimensions here at Crosby, 310 down the lines, 375 and a high wall in dead center field, 350 the alleys. And I'll turn it over to the PA announcer for the introductions.
Private parochial schools in Crosby ISD welcome you to the ballparks in Crosby for today's Division I State Championship baseball game. This game will be between Liberty Christian Warriors and the St. Thomas Eagles. This contest is governed by the Texas Association of Private Parochial Schools to promote good sportsmanship and fair play among its member schools. We ask that all fans act in a responsible and courteous manner at all times. The umpires of today's contest are our guests and should be treated as so. Please refrain from going onto the field following the game so that the next team can begin their warm-ups. TAPS would also like to express its appreciation to Wilson Sporting Goods, the official ball for TAPS, in providing the game balls for this contest. Now to introduce the visitors for this game, the Liberty Christian Warriors. We come to today's contest with a season record of 25 wins, 13 losses, and 1 tie. And now for the Warriors' starting lineup. Leading off, pitching, number 17, Jacob Hasty. Batting second, shortstop, number 8, Pryor Thomas. Batting third at third base, number 10, Brett Huff. Batting cleanup at first base, number 16, Creighton Hansen. Batting fifth in right field, number 24, Mason Packwood. Batting sixth, designated hitter, number 22, Joe Wolf. At second base, number 20, Chase Wanaka. Batting seventh, catcher, number 33, Colson Powers. Batting eighth, in left field, number 3, Noah Hopkins. Batting ninth, center fielder, number 4, Hayden Winter. Assistant coaches for Liberty Christian, Billy Jordan, Craig Oglesby, Eric Howe, and Mark Henderson. The Warriors are led by head coach Johnny Ison. Now introducing the home team for this game, the St. Thomas Eagles, who come to today's contest with a season record of 16 wins and 4 losses. And now for the Eagles starting lineup. Leading off at second base, number 10, Jack Shell. Batting second, in center field, number 45, Brody Logsdon. Batting third at third base, number 11, Daniel Coco. Hitting cleanup, catcher, number 33, Tuscan Severino. Batting fifth, in left field, number 23, Gabe Lenz. Batting sixth, designated hitter, number 3, Ryan Moore. Pitching today, number 22, Tucker Alch. Batting seventh, in right field, number 21, Peter Corbett. Batting eighth, at first base, number 28, Trajan Lee. And batting ninth, shortstop, number 9, Will Rizzo. Assistant coaches for St. Thomas are Austin Carden, Jeff McCurry, Luis Sanchez, Kurt Jankowski, and Richard Boyd. The Eagles are led by head coach Adam Mazziati. At this time, Father Jim Murphy of St. Thomas High School will lead the invocation, followed by our national anthem, also performed by Father Jim Murphy.
Let us pray. Good and loving God, we give you thanks on this beautiful morning. We give you thanks for the opportunity to play one more game. Whether we be Warriors or Eagles, we give you thanks for every challenge faced, every lesson learned that allowed both teams to be here today. May we play with integrity and heart and passion. Watch over our players, keep them safe. Watch over our coaches, our officials, and watch over us in the stands. May all that we do show pride, respect, and dignity for our old schools, our opponents, and this great game of baseball. Watch over all that we do and keep us in your love. We ask all this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Father Murphy of St. Thomas with the beautiful rendition of the national anthem. Did that yesterday as well. Love to have that live anthem as opposed to the track. The track is fine. So we are ready to roll here in Crosby, Texas for the Division I championship game between the Liberty Christian Warriors and the St. Thomas Eagles. As St. Thomas takes the field here, getting there all white with the red hats, a very classic look for this baseball game. I'm going to set the defense for you for St. Thomas. Left to right in the outfield, Lenz, Logsdon, and Corbett. Infield third to first, Coco, Rizzo, Shell, Lee. The battery today, Savarino, the catcher, and Tucker Alch on the mound wearing number 22. And we'll get the Liberty Christian offensive lineup as they come through. Again, if you're listening in, thank you for joining in here for this broadcast on TAPS TV and TAPS Radio of the 2019 TAPS State Baseball Championships. 4 games yesterday, 4 games today, and then we begin working our way down starting tomorrow with 3 games, then 3 games, then a single game on Saturday, which will be the Division 5 championship. And as we mentioned, softball cranking up today. They're just getting started. So wind looks like at this point blowing out right to left a little bit, although I look down the right field line and that's blowing straight in from right. So maybe a little bit of a swirl here going on as we get ready to get rolling here. Folks at Crosby have been very accommodating, very nice. They're running off a great event. Good job in the PA, good job around the facility. Been a first-class operation all the way around. Looks like the music has changed a little bit today, and that's good. A new track, all those other things stuck in my head, although I suspect we'll get the traditional Sweet Carolines and some of those others, especially when the Lutheran South student section arrives, which they may or may not today. We'll see. They do have a day game, but they were very entertaining last night in that game with Corpus Christi Incarnate Word. So we are, I thought we were ready to go. Tucker Alch has taken his warm-up pitches, and now we have timeout before the game starts. Looks like we may have a bit of an equipment issue as we have a trainer coming out, and looks like he may be applying something to the shoe, the bottom of the shoe. Don't know for sure. But it was a quick fix, and it appears, no, it doesn't appear. So now Tucker Alch is walking off the field to see, maybe make a bit of an equipment change. So we have a quick timeout here. So to run down the rest of today's action, again, as we mentioned, we'll have the Division II championship. That's going to be Fort Worth Christian, 21-9-1, taking on Lutheran South at 29-5, looking to defend their state championship. Division III semifinals will be today. That's going to be Lubbock Christian High School, the Eagles, taking on the another Eagle team from Trinity Christian Willow Park. That game's set to go off at 4:30. And the nightcap tonight features two Houston area schools, so we would expect a big crowd for that one. Pasadena First Baptist will come in here with a record of 13-7-1 against Northland Christian, 18-14. Northland Christian has been a powerhouse in the Houston area. I know they've appeared in a couple of state championship football games, winning one of those. Buddy David Nelson was the head coach at Houston Northland Christian for one of those state championships. And so they play at 7:30 tonight. Division IV semifinals will start tomorrow, Thursday. 10:30 a.m. game is Amarillo-San Jacinto. So we've got a couple of West Texas schools in here. Amarillo-San Jacinto taking on Dallas Covenant. And New Braunfels Christian, last year's Division V champion, had a 37-game winning streak that was snapped this season by Hallettsville Sacred Heart, whom they will play tonight. Those are two teams from the same district, District 4 in Division 4. Hallettsville Sacred Heart 23-3 coming in. The Division 5 game is very interesting. It features a first-year program in Weatherford Christian. First-year program. They roll in here at 13-5. State tournament in their first year. Very exciting for Weatherford Christian. They'll be taking on Ovilla Christian, who is no stranger to the state tournament. Coach Greg Hayes will bring his team in here at 12-5. That game is at 10:30, by the way. The other semifinal, Shiner St. Paul taking on Brazosport Christian. That game's set to go off Friday at 4:30. Friday afternoon. And as we mentioned, 11 o'clock Saturday is the scheduled time for the Division V championship game. That will be the lone game of the day. Tucker Alch now trots back onto the field to the cheers of the St. Thomas faithful, and it appears whatever equipment malfunction he had has been remedied, and he's ready to go. Let's see if they give him a couple more pitches, and they will. The umpire signals to give him a couple more pitches to get ready. After that brief interlude. Jacob Hasty is going to be the leadoff batter for Liberty Christian. Hasty is also going to be today's starting pitcher. He bats from the left-hand side, and he'll dig in against the right-handed throwing Tucker Alch. He'll dig in against the right-handed throwing Tucker Alch. Hasty works from the very back of the box. He's as far back as you can get. And we are ready to go. And first pitch is in there for a called strike one against Jacob Hasty. Tucker Alch working from the stretch to start the game. Saw one pitcher doing that yesterday. It was Concordia's pitcher who did a masterful job. That ball outside, gets a little bit away from the catcher. It's going to be 1 ball, 1 strike to Jacob Hasty, wearing uniform number 17. And Tucker Alch into the stretch. He's ready to go, delivers the next pitch. That was going to be just a bit outside. 2 balls, 1 strike to Jacob Hasty. It'll be interesting to see again how aggressive these teams want to be today. Runs were at a premium yesterday, as we mentioned, probably will be again today. Jacob Hasty swings and fouls it off, out of play, back into the left. Good crowd still filing in here, as you would expect from Houston St. Thomas with the short drive, but Liberty well represented as well. Hasty pounds one into the ground there, foul, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's well outside for ball 3, and Hasty has worked the count full here to Tucker Alch to start this ball game. And the delivery outside, and Jacob Hasty draws a walk to open the game, and Liberty has a first base runner, and we're going to get a courtesy runner. That's going to be number 2, Gabe Ramirez, coming in to run for the pitcher, Jacob Hasty. Now we'll see what Coach Johnny Isom wants to do with a runner on, see if Liberty Christian wants to be aggressive on the base paths and put some pressure on the St. Thomas Eagles here early in the ball game. And with the courtesy runner, we have a brief interlude here as the umpire puts that into the lineup. One thing we didn't see much of yesterday was the first base runner of the ball game this early, the first man reaching. It often took a half inning or so. Normal lead over there for Ramirez as he runs, his lead foot just on the cutout. We got a bunt. This is Pryor Thomas at the plate. Pryor Thomas, the shortstop, tries to lay down the bunt, fouls it off, and will reset and do it again. Aldrich from the stretch. Delivers the bunt. Again, fouled straight back, and Pryor Thomas now down in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Thomas did get a hit yesterday. Singled in their game against Fort Worth All Saints. With 2 strikes here, you would really have to trust the bunt, and probably the bunt is off, likely off. Thomas swings and he fouls it straight back. Onto that very loud metal awning. Set to go here. Thomas digs in. 0-2 remains the count. And laces one down the third base line, just foul. And we'll reset and do it again. Pryor Thomas, good job here, fouling off pitches, looking for something that he can put in play. Again, normal lead over there for Gabe Ramirez. Front foot just on the cutout, so not a big lead. Tucker Alch with the throw over. Ramirez dives back in easily. Coach Johnny Isom in the third base box. I believe that's Coach Craig Oglesby over in the first base box. Outfield a little bit shallow. Infield straight away. And another foul. This one down the right field line, hits the right field light standard. And Pryor Thomas running that pitch count up in this at bat. Fighting off and looking for something he can work with. Aldrich with the stretch. And that's a called third strike. Pryor Thomas is arguing that it hit him on the inside part of the arm. That argument doesn't go anywhere, so that's going to be the first out of the game via the strikeout looking.
Now batting, third baseman, number 10, Brett Huff.
That's going to bring up Brett Huff, the third baseman. Brett Huff, as we mentioned, headed to Hill College. Delivery from Alch is low and inside for ball one to Brett Huff. Now 1 out, still normal lead over there for Gabe Ramirez. Huff does have some power. He showed it yesterday, laced a double into the left center field alley. That one nearly caught Ramirez leaning, but the throw was to the home plate side, and they weren't able to make the play, make the tag. So Ramirez safe on the dive back to first. St. Thomas feeling like something's on here, and there's a pitch, good pitch from Tucker Aldrich on the inside portion of the plate, and that's strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike on Brett Huff with 1 out here in the top of the first. Liberty Christian batting as the visiting team. There's Huff, and that's going to be a single to left center. And now Liberty Christian with 2 men on and only 1 man out, and that's going to bring up Creighton Hansen.
Now batting, first baseman, number 16, Creighton Hansen.
Hansen had a hit yesterday against Fort Worth All Saints. First pitch swinging is Hansen. Fouls it down the third base side. No balls and 1 strike. Runner obviously not being held at first. Not much attention to Gabe Ramirez at second. There's a ball up the middle. That could be a double play. And they've got it. And that's going to get him out of the inning. The 6-4-3 double play. And St. Thomas avoids damage here in the first inning with that double play, timely double play. So there was no runs on 1 hit, 1 man left aboard. And after a half an inning of play, it's Liberty Christian 0, St. Thomas coming to bat. We'll be back on the TAPS TV and TAPS Radio Network 2019 coverage of the Baseball State Championships. Brandon Brunson back with you here. Crosby High School Division I championship game between Liberty Christian and St. Thomas. Go ahead and set the Liberty defense, left to right in the outfield, Hopkins, Winter, and Packwood. Third to first is Huff, Thomas, Wanutka, and Hanson. Colson Powers doing the catching, and Jacob Hasty on the mound doing the pitching for Liberty Christian. Set to lead off for St. Thomas today is Jack Shell, who wears uniform number 10, plays second base.
Leading off for the Eagles, second base,
Shell
number
hits
10,
from the
Jack
left-hand side of the dish. Shell yesterday collected 1 hit in 3 at-bats. And here we go, Hasty to Shell. First pitch swinging, and that's grounded to the shortstop. Fires over, and that's out number 1 for Jacob Hasty and the Liberty Christian Warriors.
Now batting center fielder, number 45, Brody Logsdon.
Now that mirrors what we saw all day yesterday. First pitch swinging and first out making. Lots of ground balls yesterday in initial at bats. Here's Brody Logsdon digging in. That pitch is going to be low and inside. 1 ball, no strikes to Brody Logsdon, the Sam Houston State commit. Tall young man, wears uniform number 45, playing center field. Swing and a foul tip held onto by Colson Powers. Evens count at 1-1. Oh, high fastball on the outside portion of the plate. Logsdon could not catch up to that one, and he's down in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yesterday, Logsdon, in his first at bat, was hit by a pitch, glanced off of his nose, and we had some time there to rectify that. I heard last night they think it might be broken. Don't know. Don't envy that young man. My youngest had that happen in football, in surgery, and that's no fun. Ball inside corner. Colson Powers doing his best to frame that one. Umpire says no, it's outside, and that brings the count full to Brody Logsdon. Jacob Hasty works from the windup. Foul ball out of play on the right field line. 4-man umpiring crew here for the state championships. Logsdon fights off another one, this time fouling it back into the third base side. Don't envy those umpires today out there on that turf in the glare and sunshine. And Brody Logsdon draws a 1-out walk. Colson Powers trying to frame that one on the outside portion of the plate, did not get the call. He calls out signals to the defense, and that's going to bring up Daniel Coco, number 11, playing third base today. Coach Adam Maciate giving the signals from the third base coach's box. Not much of a lead for Logsdon there at first base. Inside portion of the plate catches the corner for strike 1 to Daniel Coco. Hasty now working from the stretch for the first time in the game, since they do have their first base runner, the Eagles do. Big swing and a miss from Coco. Foul tipped that one. Powers hangs on to it. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Hasty the line delivering. That's rifled out to right field, and that's going to fall for a base hit. Logsdon unable to get to third as it was shallow. Liberty gets it back in, but Coco has a base hit, and now the St. Thomas Eagles have a runner in scoring position, 2 men on with only 1 out. It's going to bring up number 33, the catcher, Tuscan Savarino. Savarino, instruction from the first base coach to the runner. Savarino's going to take a look down, take a step out. He's got the signal, steps out, resets, And we'll be ready to go here. Jacob Hasty working from the stretch with a couple of base runners. There's a swing, fouled, pounded into the ground for strike one to Savarino. Umpire needing a replenishment of baseballs. Savarino ready to go, and he steps back in as Jacob Hasty takes the look in to Colson Powers, setting up well inside. Maybe a ball. Hasty sort of tripped as he made his delivery there. Colson coming out to check on him, and Jacob says, "I'm all right." We saw that happen also with Perry Burkett last night. Not exactly like that, but he came in to make a play and was unable to handle the ball. So maybe, and we saw that also from Joe Wolf trying to field the bunt. So perhaps this turf is a little bit slick for the players. Runners going. That was going to be grounded foul down the first base line, and we'll reset and do it again. But Logsdon and Coco were off with the pitch, so some sort of play was on by Masiate. Again, as we mentioned a lot, offenses are going to need to do something to put pressure on these really good pitchers, try to manufacture some runs here. Let's see if the runners are going again here. Jacob Hasty delivers. Runners not going, and that's a called strike three on Savarino for the second out of the bottom of the first. Brings number 23, Gabe Lenz, to the plate, who's playing left field today. So Liberty now with the 2 outs, trying to avoid any damage here in the bottom of the first. First pitch swinging and rifled down the first baseline, foul. Hasty taking the long look in here. Power set up outside. Swing and a miss. Throw behind. Didn't get him. Thought they might get Coco. He had a good secondary lead. But the throw was behind and they couldn't quite get the tag. It did look like the hand got in well before the tag. Hasty with a move towards second base. No throw. Logsdon back easily. No need to make the throw. And Hasty with a long look in. Ball well outside the lens. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here. Bottom of the first inning. No score. Liberty didn't score in the top of the first. St. Thomas here with their first at bat of the ball game in the bottom half. And there's a strike, and they'll throw to complete it. And that's going to be the end of the first inning. So the St. Thomas Eagles get a couple of base runners on a base hit, but nothing across. So we're through 1 complete. No score here in the Division I championship game between the Liberty Christian Warriors and the St. Thomas Eagles. We'll be right back on the TAPS TV and radio network coverage of the 2019 State Baseball Championships. Brandon Brunson back with you here as we go to the top of the second inning. Leading off this inning for Liberty Christian will be Mason Packwood. Delivery is going to be ball one to Mason Packwood. Tucker Walsh continuing to work from the stretch here to start the game. There's one fouled out of play behind and to the left field side. 1 ball, 1 strike to Mason Packwood. Another thing we've noticed over the course of these first 2 days, pitchers working pretty quickly here on the mound for virtually every team. There's one laced into left field, and that's going to drop just in front of the left fielder lens. And Packwood is on with a base hit to start the inning. Leadoff runner aboard for the Warriors.
Now batting, designated hitter, number 22, Joe Wolf.
Brings up 22 Joe Wolf, yesterday's pitcher in the Division I semifinal win over Fort Worth All Saints. Wolf going to lay down the bunt, fielded by Alch. Throw pulls the first baseman Lee across the bag, but it is successful. The sacrifice works. Packwood moves to second base, and Liberty has a runner in scoring position.
33, Colson Powers.
Colson Powers now digs in, the catcher, with 1 out and a runner in scoring position. See if the Liberty Christian Warriors can capitalize. Ball low in the dirt. Good job by Savarino there, smothering that one so it didn't get away, and it kept the runner Packwood at second base. It's ball 1 to Powers. Runner not being held at second base. There's a foul straight back. Powers looked to be on that one pretty well, but just got a little bit under it, fouled it back. Count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Wind now blowing straight right to left. Alch into the stretch. Could be a base hit up the middle. See if that's going to score. It looks like it might be deep enough. No, Coach Johnny Isom is going to hold Packwood up. Good job by the center fielder, Brody Logston. Getting that ball back in quickly to hold Packwood at third, and we're going to have a pinch runner. Number 1, Adam Johnson is going to come in to run for the catcher, Colson Powers, and the Liberty Christian Warriors have something working here in the top of the second.
Now batting, left fielder, number 3, Noah Hopkins.
Noah Hopkins steps up to the plate. Hopkins playing in left field today. He's going to take a look in to Coach Johnny Isom. See what they might want to put on here first and third. Hopkins yesterday reached base a couple of times on a hit by pitch and an error. Adam Johnson, normal lead over there at first. He is their designated courtesy runner. Has some speed. We'll see if they want to utilize that here in this position early in the ball game. Put some pressure on St. Thomas. First pitch swinging is Hopkins, who lines it down the right field line and out of play. No balls, 1 strike. Throw over. St. Thomas believes something might be on here. Johnny Awesome rolls through the signals again. Stretch the delivery, rifled down the right field line, but just foul. Now Alch has Hopkins in the hole, 0-2, with Hayden Winter on deck for the Warriors. Eagles defense playing straight away. Left fielder in a bit. Logsdon medium depth, right fielder Corbett at medium depth. There's a delivery. Catches the lower part of the strike zone. Hopkins can't believe it, but it is a strike, and that's the second out of the second inning. I think Johnny Awesome's a little curious about where the call was, and he's having a conversation with the umpire, and the umpire is asking him to please return to the third base coach's dugout. That ball did look to be a little bit low and inside, but I'm not where the umpire is, so it must have caught a part of the plate or the lower part of the strike zone. Going to make it a little tougher here now. Hayden Winter with 2 outs. Defense can play straight away, and they do. Third baseman Coco now back a bit. Swing and a miss from Hayden Winter. Looks like he did get just a little piece of that one, fouled it off. Infield back, ready to knock down anything, make the play. If they're in the middle, make the play to second, or the easy play wherever that happens to be, second or first, actually. Alch in the stretch. Oh, great job by Savarino. That pitch well in the dirt. Savarino did a great job smothering that. Adam Johnson, the pinch runner, does advance. There's no throw to second base with the runner on third. No chance to get him. 1 ball, 1 strike, and now 2 in scoring position for the Warriors. Another called strike, which looked to be a little bit low. Awesome reruns the signals. And both teams are going to have to adjust to that strike zone. Those balls look a little bit low. They're going to have to be aware of that. Make the adjustment. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That one off the outer portion of the plate. It's going to bring the count even to 2 balls, 2 strikes. And we have 2 outs here in the second inning. Deuces wide. There's a drive, and that's going to be trouble. It's in the gap. It's down, and it's bounced against the wall. And Liberty Christian is going to strike first. Hayden Winter with a double to left center. Johnson and Packwood come around to score. And Liberty Christian has drawn first blood here in this championship game, and they lead it 2-0. Going to bring up Jacob Hasty, today's starting pitcher. And there's strike 1 to Hasty. Still a runner in scoring position at second base. That's Hayden Winter on via the double. Alch in the stretch. Fouled high and deep down the left field line, and that's just going to be long strike there. And the count 0-2. Alch delivering to Hasty. Wind still blowing right to left as Alch is ready to deliver. Time out. Called by the umpire, pointing out in the right field. Not sure what that was, but we're ready to go again. Jacob Hasty digging in against Tucker Alch. Runners going down the left. Throw not in time. And there's a stolen base. Hayden Winter now 90 feet away from scoring the third Liberty Christian run. No balls, 2 strikes the count to Hasty. Ball low and just a little bit outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Working here in the bottom of the second inning. 2 runs on 4 hits so far for Liberty Christian. Nothing on the 1 hit for St. Thomas in the bottom of the first. There's ground ball. It's going to be handled easily by, not so easily by the first baseman, and he's on. Couldn't come up with it cleanly. And Hasty's going to reach via the error, and that's going to bring Winter around to score run number 3 for the Liberty Christian Warriors, meeting at the mound. Also going to have a visit here to the mound from Coach Adam Maciate, as Tucker Alch has run into a bit of a spot here in the bottom of the second inning, giving up 3 hits so far. Packwood, Powers, and Winter have all crossed the plate here. Packwood singled to get on. Powers singled. We had that bases clearing double by Hayden Winter. Hasty just reached on the error, which allowed Winter to score that 3rd run. Do have a runner in for Hasty. I did not catch the number. Probably Gabe, it looks like it is number 2, Gabe Ramirez, who's back in. Takes a look over Coach Johnny Isom for the signals. Normal lead for Gabe Ramirez. Bunt down the third baseline. Thomas looking to bunt for a base hit there. Goes just foul. 0-1 to Pryor Thomas. Taking a look down at the signals and ready to dig in for the second pitch of this at bat. And there's a base hit, left field line for Thomas. And hustling around to third base is Gabe Ramirez to throw back to second. It gets away and into the outfield. That's going to allow Gabe Ramirez to score. And Pryor Thomas makes it all the way around to third base on a single to left and an error on the throw from third to second. That's going to be an error, I would assume, on Rizzo on the throw.
Number 10, Brett Huff.
And the error on the first baseman, it's going to cost him another run, and that's going to be it for Tucker Alch. Coach Adam Maciate is going to go ahead and make the change here in the top of the second, as Liberty has scratched 4 runs across on now 5 hits, no errors. We're going to take a quick break here, close the book on Alch, and we'll be back with you in just a moment with the pitching change. Brandon Brunson with you here on TAPS TV and the TAPS Radio Network. Back in a moment.
kiss like your heart ain't ever been broke. The kind of lips hit your lips, get your eyes to close. Yeah, I know what you're going through. I do. So come on and kiss somebody. Back at the cab or on the subway train. Yeah, come on and kiss somebody. On the midnight street in the summer rain. You're wishing you were with somebody. You wanna go home when it's closing time. If you wanna kiss somebody, baby, I got somebody in mind. You can kiss like your heart ain't ever been broke. The kind of lips hit your lips, get your eyes to close. I know just what you're going through, 'cause I wanna kiss somebody too. Kiss somebody like you. Wanna kiss somebody like
Your home for TAP Sports. It's right here on Game Time. The TAP State Baseball Tournament is going to be taking place in...
Brandon Brunson back with you here at Crosby High School as we have the pitching change. Jack Shell is now in to pitch for the St. Thomas Eagles, and he's going to work to Brett Huff. Ball one to Huff here as Liberty Christian looks to bat around here. Close the book on Coco. In just a minute. That one up high. 2 balls, no strikes. Shell delivers. Working from the stretch, runner at third. 2 men out in the top of the second inning. There's a drive, Huff deep and gone. That one way over. Hits the light standard. What a majestic home run to the left field power alley. And Huff's going to trot around, and that's the first home run of the tournament here. Brett Huff, the 2-run shot. And the Liberty Christian Warriors have extended their lead now 6-0. Boy, Huff got all of that one. The dangerous Brett Huff. He puts on a hard hat as he heads into the dugout, and that's going to bring up Creighton Hansen as Liberty Christian looks to bat around, and there's one into the hole. Nice stop. And they got it. First pitch swing, and Hansen grounds out to the shortstop, and that'll do it for the inning. But a big one for the Liberty Christian Warriors. 6 runs in the inning, and they take the lead over St. Thomas after 1.5. It is Liberty Christian 6, St. Thomas 0. Back with you on the TAPS TV and radio network in just a moment. Back with you on the TAPS TV and TAPS radio network. Coverage of the 2019 State Baseball Championships. This morning's game, a Division I matchup. Liberty Christian with the offensive explosion in the top of the 6th inning, including that massive home run, 2-run home run by Brett Huff. And the Warriors are up on the Eagles 6-0. And as I look up to see if we're ready to go, I notice the home plate umpire is nowhere to be found. So we're going to have a little bit of a pause here. 5 hits in that inning for the Liberty Christian Warriors. And umpire's back. We're ready to go. Digging in for St. Thomas is going to be number 3,
Ryan Moore.
Ryan Moore. This will be Moore's first at bat of the day, and he takes up and outside for ball 1. And the Eagles, with their work cut out for them here now, with a 6-run deficit, facing one of the better pitchers in Division I in Jacob Hasty. That one's going to be off the plate, ball 2. Quickly 2-0, and Ryan Moore has worked himself a hitter's count. We got timeout. Coach Billy Jordan, pitching coach for Liberty Christian, is going to come out and visit with Jacob Hasty. Moore is going to take advantage of the timeout to speak with Coach Adam Maciate, see what the Eagles might want to do. He's 2-0. See if they want to be aggressive and try to get a runner on, or if they want to try to work this count. Hasty, a power pitcher, does have good velocity. And we're ready to go. Hasty takes a look in. Going to let the umpire, the umpire wasn't quite ready. Still had the mask off, and Hasty noticed, stepped out. Here we go, ready to roll. Hasty with the delivery. And that was going to be inside, and now the count goes 3-0 to Ryan Moore as the Eagles look to get a base runner here. That one's going to be a called strike on the inside portion of the plate. A little bit interesting here. The home plate umpire delays his strike call just a little bit. And there's a hit into, oh, what a catch in right field by Mason Packwood. That one looked like it was going to drop. But Packwood able to make the sliding catch. And the Sports Center tune plays, it was highlight-worthy catch. It's going to bring up Peter Corbett, who plays in right field. He takes on away for ball 1. And that will be up in the zone. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Hasty works really quickly. And that's going to be a strike on the outside portion of the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Corbett. Out of foul. Right side. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Corbett. Also his first at bat of the day. He's hitting in the 7 spot. Hasty thought he had that outside corner. Not so, says the umpire, and it's full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out here for the St. Thomas Eagles, bottom of the 2nd inning. Swing and a miss. And Hasty has his 3rd strikeout of the ball game.
First baseman, number 28, Trajan Lee.
Trajan Lee, the first baseman, steps into the plate. Another good-sized young man. His first at bat of the day. Hasty again working very quickly. And he starts Lee off with a strike. And that one going to get a little bit away on the inside portion of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike to Trajan Lee. Hasty works from the 3rd base side of that mound. He doesn't work from the middle. He works off to the side. He's going to direct his second baseman. Hasty ready for the delivery. Well outside. Ball 2, 2 balls, 1 strike. Outfield again straight away. Left fielder fairly deep. That's going to be a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The delivery. Down and away. St. Thomas fans not happy with the pace of the game, but I'm telling you, once the batter's in the box, if the pitcher's ready, it's go time. That was going to be low, bounces away from Powers. And Lee is going to be aboard via a 2-out walk.
Batting for the Eagles, shortstop, number 9, Will Rizzo.
Will Rizzo steps in for his first at bat of the ball game. Rizzo, the shortstop. 2 outs here. That's going to force Hasty to work from the stretch, which will actually slow things down just a little. Ball up and out. 1 ball, no strikes. And there's one on the outside corner for strike 1. Colson Powers, good job framing those pitches. Lee aboard at first. Rizzo shows bunt, pulls back, and it's a ball up high. 2 balls, 1 strike with 2 outs here. Bottom of the second. There's ground ball pounded to second baseman. He's going to take the easy play, and that's it. That's going to end the inning. 4-6 is how you score that one. And St. Thomas can't push a run across. So after 2 complete, your score in the Division I state championship, Liberty Christian 6, St. Thomas 0. Back with you on the TAPS TV and radio network in just a moment. Brandon Brunson back with you on the TAPS TV and radio network. Coverage of the 2019 State Baseball Championships. Didn't close the book on Tucker Alt. He went 1 2/3. 1 2/3, 5 hits, 5 runs. 2 of those earned, walked 1 and struck out 2. Jack Shell working into his second inning for St. Thomas. First pitch outside to number 24, Mason Packwood. 1 ball, no strikes. That one low and inside, almost hit the back foot. 2-0. Packwood with a single to left in his first at bat and came around to score in that last inning. And there's a called strike. Two balls, 1 strike. Packwood laces one. Caught by the right fielder in the alley. And that's going to be out number 1.
Designated hitter, number 22, Joe Wolf.
Brings up Joe Wolf, who bunted his last time up. Was out 1-3. Ball's going to be up and out. 1 ball, no strike to Wolf. Today's designated hitter for Chase Wanutka, who's playing second base for the Warriors. Wolf reaches for one on the outside portion of the plate, is able to foul it out of play down the right side. 1 ball, 1 strike. 6 runs, 6 hits for Liberty Christian. No runs on 1 hit and a couple of errors for St. Thomas, as the Lutheran South Pioneers arrive for their championship game. That ball a little bit high. Delivery to Joe Wolf, 2-1. And another one rifled out of play down the left field line. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Joe Wolf. Wolf, as I mentioned, headed to Seward County College to play ball next fall. Shell the delivery high and outside. It's going to be ball 3, full count to Joe Wolf. Wind still blowing right to left here. Ball parks at Crosby. Timeout called by Joe Wolf, and he steps out, takes a practice swing. Ready to go again as he steps into the box. And another one rifled foul and out of play down the left field line. Wolf and Shell in a battle here. Same song, third verse, as Wolf rifles it out of play down the left field line. Continuing to spoil good pitches from Jack Shell of the St. Thomas Eagles. Working from the windup. And there's a shot to the second baseman. Easily taken by Moore, and that's out number 1. That one goes 4-3 for the second out at the top of the third.
Number 33, Colson Powers.
Brings up Colson Powers, who singled to center his last time up. It was that shallow single that Logsdon played well and was able to keep a run from scoring at that point. Powers skies one down the left field line. Drifting, that's going to end up in foul territory, but it's playable for the left fielder, Lenz, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing across for Liberty Christian in the top of the third. We're going to go to the bottom of the third. It's Warriors 6, Eagles 0. Back with you on the TAPS TV and radio network in just a moment.
Said only love can drive out all the darkness. What are we fighting for? Yeah, we were made to carry one another. We were made for love. We all bleed the same, We're all beautiful, we come together.
Go all in all the time.
All the time.
This is Game Time.
roads and start feeling mixed signals like Morse code. My soul start to grow colder than the North Pole. I try to focus on the whole of where the torch goes. In the tradition of these legendary sports pros, as far as I can see, I made it to the threshold. Lord knows I waited for this a lifetime, and I'm an icon when I let my light shine. Shine bright as an example of a champion, taking the advantage, never copping out or canceling. Burn like a chariot.
Brandon Brunson back with you here for the bottom of the third.
Number 10, Jack Shell.
St. Thomas up here in the bottom of the third. Jack Shell, the leadoff man, leading off this inning. And he takes strike one. Jacob Hasty again in that windup, working quickly. The ball gets the outside corner. And that's no balls, 2 strikes to Jack Shell. That one misses the outside portion. 1-2. Brody Logston on deck for St. Thomas. That one low. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jack Shell, who is now pitching for the St. Thomas Eagles. That one well off the outside portion of the plate, and Shell has worked this count full to Jacob Hasty. Hasty sitting at 46 pitches, so a long way to go here. Inside portion, and it misses. Jack Shell is aboard via the leadoff walk. And the dangerous Brody Logston steps into the plate.
Brody Logston.
Logston, his last time up, walked. 3 walks issued by Hasty. Logston first pitch swinging, and it's down the right field line and out of play. Coco on deck for the Eagles. Logston, good curveball from Jacob Hasty. Swing and a miss. And Logston's in the hole 0-2. Runner's going. Pitch out. Oh, and it hits Colson in the leg. He's hurt. Ball is gone away. Jack Shell finally sees it. He's able to get to third base, but Colson is down. That must have hit where the knee guards weren't, and he's in some pain, and we're going to have the training staff come out to take a look. Shell on the missed pitch. Oh, it actually hit his hand. Didn't hit the leg. They're looking at his throwing hand, and that could be an issue for Liberty Christian. Yesterday when Logston was hit by pitch and then Joe Wolf fell when fielding a bunt, it's going to take a lot to get these guys off the field here, especially today in the last game of the season. These two teams have made it as far as you could possibly make it here. Final game at Crosby. Great seasons for both, no matter how this ends. Great seasons for both of these young men. And Colson Powers indicating he's okay, doesn't need Hasty to throw him a warm-up pitch, and we're ready to go again. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Logston as he digs in, and he's going to single into right field, and that's going to plate the first run of the game for the St. Thomas Eagles as Shell comes around to score, and Logston delivers the 2-out single, and St. Thomas is on the board with nobody out here in the bottom of the third inning. It's going to bring up Daniel Coco, who singled to right field in his first at bat. So St. Thomas now with something working here in the bottom of the third. Going to square to bunt. Coco pulls it back. Runners going. Logsdon is in there safely just ahead of the throw. So give a stolen base to Brody Logsdon. Pitch was called a strike. So 0-1 to Daniel Coco. Probably takes the bunt off here because a single would score the run. And we're going to be low and inside for ball one, evens the count, 1-1. Nobody holding Logsdon on at second base. Hasty from the stretch. And Coco couldn't quite hold up there, and that's going to be strike two on the check swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes here. Oh, and they overrule it. They ask for the appeal to first base. And the first base umpire says no swing, and that's going to be ball 2. Johnny Isom wanting an explanation from the home plate umpire. And we're going to have a conference here. So I'm not sure what the count is. I have it officially at 2-1. The scoreboard has it no balls, no strikes. So we'll wait and see what the call is, and they're not going to change that call. Say no swing. And Craig Oglesby is very unhappy, as are Billy Jordan and Johnny Isom. Looked like a swing. A delayed call, and they asked for an appeal, and it was called safe. So 2 balls, 1 strike here. Hasty delivers. Swing, and that was going to get past Colson Powers. And Logsdon is going to make it to third base on the swing and miss from Coco. Makes it 2 balls, 2 strikes. But the ball gets away from Logsdon on the pass ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Coco. And he laces one down the right field line, well out of play. And we'll set up and do that one again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out here for St. Thomas. Runner at third base, 90 feet away. Hasty going to continue to work from the stretch here. Coco steps out, wants to take a minute. He's back in, ready to go. Hasty will be ready to go. And there's strike 3. On the inside portion of the plate. Good pitcher's pitch there from Hasty.
Now batting, number 33, Tuscan Savarino.
His 4th strikeout of the game brings up Tuscan Savarino. Oh, high and inside. Fans always think that's a purpose pitch, and it's not. That one just got away from Hasty. Savarino struck out his first time up. This is a lefty-lefty matchup. Inside again, missing. St. Thomas lustily disapproving of the inside pitches. Two balls, no strikes here. The count. And that one's going to be left inside. 3 balls, no strikes here to Savarino here. Bottom 3. St. Thomas has pushed one across. They got one 90 feet away and a 3-0 count. And that's going to be inside. Hasty just couldn't find the zone there with the left-handed batter. And now St. Thomas with one out has runners first and third, and we're going to get a runner in. That's number 4 coming into courtesy run. 4 is Mateo Casares. Mateo Casares into run for Savarino. And Coach Billy Jordan, the pitching coach, is going to come out and visit with Jacob Hasty, and Coach Maziate is going to take the opportunity to bring both base runners over and the batter and talk some strategy. Liberty Christian brings in the entire infield to talk strategy as well. Resetting the game, St. Thomas has pushed one across here in the bottom of the third. Warriors 6 runs on 6 hits, no errors. The Eagles 1 run on 2 hits, 2 errors. They have 2 runners on. Casares, the courtesy runner, is on at first. Brody Logsdon is on at third. That conference will give Colson Powers the opportunity to tell his defense what he wants to do on this first and third if St. Thomas decides to put a play on or get the runner in motion. Jordan's off the field. Coaches are reset. Batter's in the box. Hasty's ready to go, and so are we. This is Lenz. Ball up and out to Lenz. And now that's 5 in a row outside the strike zone for Jacob Hasty. He's going to grab a little rosin and get ready to get to work again from that third base side of the mound. And that one's going to be a ball low. 2-0 now to Lenz. Lenz struck out his first time up today. Hasty with the look in, still working quickly. Powers thought about throwing behind Casares at first base, thought better of it. Casares was back easily, and we're at a 3-0 count. Hasty working this to Lenz. He's got the throw over. Can't quite get there. Pickoff attempt, no good. Casares back easily. 3 balls, no strikes to Lenz as he digs in. Hasty looks in for the signal. And that was going to be inside. And the St. Thomas crowd has definitely come to life here, as now they have bases loaded. Logsdon at third. Casares moves up to second. Lenz at first as he draws the walk. And Hasty with 1 out finds himself in a little bit of trouble here. That's going to bring up Ryan Moore, who was DHing. He's now playing second base after we had the pitching change that brought Shell in. Moore flied to right field, his first at bat. There's one high and outside. And Hasty with a little bit of difficulty here finding the strike zone these last 3 batters. Still working quickly though. And that one's going to be outside. 2-0 to Moore. Billy Jordan pacing nervously. There is action in the bullpen. Not sure who that is. That one's low. And another 3-0 count. Shaking the stands are the St. Thomas Eagle fans here. It's like a little bit of a roller coaster. Jacob Hasty to deliver. That's ball 4. It's going to bring Logsdon home. Casares to third. Lenz to first, and Moore with the walk. Bases remain full for the St. Thomas Eagles here as they find themselves with a big opportunity. Brings up 21, Peter Corbett. Still only 1 out here for the St. Thomas Eagles in the bottom of the third. They pushed across 2 runs. They have the bases loaded and only 1 out. Corbett struck out in his previous at bat. And there's a strike on the inside portion as Jacob Hasty finds the strike zone again. That was going to be inside off the plate. Ball 1, 1-1 to Corbett. Hasty looking to find that strike zone again. And that one's going to be low and away. Ball 2, 2 balls and 1 strike to Corbett here, bottom of the third. And there's another ball tough for Jacob Hasty. Man, he is on an island. Another ball. Going to walk home. Another run as Corbett draws the walk, and that's going to bring a visit from Johnny Isom and a likely pitching change for the Liberty Christian Warriors. Slow walk from Coach Isom. And that is, Coach Isom's going to take the ball from Jacob Hasty. He's going to exit with the lead, hand this one off. We'll be back with you to close the book on Taps TV and Taps Radio in just a moment.
Now pitching for the Warriors, number 23, Kane Macklin.
Brandon Brunson back with you. And a very loud St. Thomas crowd over here on my side as they are shaking the bleachers and proclaiming a new ball game. And here you go. You can probably hear that. I can certainly feel it as Trajan Lee steps in with the bases loaded, 1 out. And there's a delivery, strike 1 from the new pitcher, number 23, Cade Macklin, for the Liberty Christian Warriors. And Lee rifles one out of play down the right field side. Quickly Macklin up now. No balls, 2 strikes here with the 1 out and bases full. 6-3 as we play here in the bottom of the third inning. We'll close the book on Hasty in just a moment. Macklin delivers high and inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's a veritable offensive explosion here today compared to the games that we had yesterday. We're only in the bottom of the third here. Oh, right on it was Trajan Lee. Fouls it straight back. Fights off a good pitch from Macklin. Masiate giving instructions to his base runners as Trajan Lee steps out, and he's ready to go. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's a ground ball back to Macklin. He's going to throw home and gets the force out at the plate. So Lee is going to be out 1-2. Second out of the inning. Station to station baseball here. The bases remain full for Rizzo. Will Rizzo steps in. He grounded out to second baseman his first time up. Swings and fouls off the first offering from Macklin. No balls, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. And quickly, Macklin has Rizzo down in the count. No balls and 2 strikes as they look to limit the damage here in the inning. Swing and a miss. Macklin comes in and shuts him down. And that's going to close the book on the third inning. 3 runs pushed across for St. Thomas in that inning. We're going to go to the top of the 4th. Your new score, Liberty Christian 6, St. Thomas 3. Back with you on the TAPS TV and radio network in just a moment. Brandon Brunson back with you on championship morning here. Division I championship between Liberty Christian and St. Thomas. Noah Hopkins. Going to lead off this inning for Liberty Christian as we work in the top of the 4th. Hopkins' first pitch swinging, skies one, shortstop calling it. Net is called off by the left fielder Lenz. And Hopkins flies to the left fielder for the first out of the top of the 4th.
How about for the Warriors? Number 4, Hayden Winter.
Brings up Hayden Winter, who doubled in his first at bat, doubled to left center. Came around to score. And there's one in the inside corner for a strike. 0-1. And there's a drive high center field. Brody Logson's going to settle under it to the deepest part of the park. And that's out number 2 as Shell settles in here. And he's got the first 2 outs of the inning on only 3 pitches. So 3 pitches, 2 outs. Very efficient here for Jack Shell.
Now batting number 23, Cade Macklin.
That's going to bring up Cade Macklin, who came on to pitch in the bottom of the 3rd. This will be his first at bat of the ball game. He takes a strike from Jack Shell. Shell working from the stretch. There's one back up the middle. Macklin fielded by the shortstop. Can he make the throw? It is in time. Macklin thought he made it. Not so much. That's the 6-3 put out, and St. Thomas is quickly out of this inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. We move to the bottom of the 4th. 6-3, Liberty Christian on top of St. Thomas on the TAPS TV and radio network.
Now batting number 10, Jack Shell.
Jack Shell going to lead off this inning, and he is the leadoff hitter. Shell with a walk and a ground out to the shortstop on the day. Closed the book on Jacob Hasty. That was 2 1/3, 2 hits, 3 runs, 3 of those, all 3 earned. Walked 7, struck out 4. Macklin delivers here high to Shell for ball 1 to start this at bat. Nobody on base, so no stopping. There's Colson Powers. Can't catch up to that one. High and outside. Two balls, no strikes to Jack Shell. Cade Macklin working into his 2nd inning here. That's inside. 3 balls, no strikes. Shell digging in here, facing Macklin. That's going to be ball 4, a little bit high and outside. And St. Thomas again, as they did last inning, leadoff walk. It's going to bring up Brody Logston, who has walked and singled today in his 2 trips. We're going to get another visit to the mound from Coach Johnny Isom, taking the long walk out there. Don't see. I do. Well, it looks like we're going to have a change. Jacob Hasty has grabbed the first base mitt, and Coach Isom has taken the ball from Cade Macklin. We're going to have a change here. We're going to take a break, step away. We'll get you the pitching change when we come back on the TAPS TV and radio network. Brandon Brunson back with you on the Taps TV and radio network. So we have a pitch and change. Creighton Hansen, the new pitcher for Liberty Christian. Jacob Hasty is going to take his place at first base. And Hansen digs in, delivers first pitch outside for ball one. Hansen, 2/3 of an inning, walked one, struck out one. Hansen working from the stretch, going to throw over. Shell dives back in easily. Count to Logsdon, 0-2. Hansen delivers. He's skied down the right field line. Is it playable? It is playable, and Jacob Hasty makes a nice play. That's a tough play. Going over along that first base line, and Logsdon flies out for the first out of the inning. 6-3 as we play here in the bottom of the fourth.
Daniel Coco.
Liberty Christian leads Daniel Coco in. He has singled and struck out today. His first time digging in against Creighton Hansen. And Hansen delivers a strike. 0-1. St. Thomas going to get the metal bleachers rocking again. One ball, one strike. Fouled straight back. One ball, two strikes to Coco. Curve ball didn't quite break enough, and that's going to be ball two. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here. Well outside and off the plate. And Coco has worked this count full. 3-2, runner on first, 1 out. And there's a base hit, rifled into right field. Going to be played by Packwood, and they're going to hold the runner at first, but Coco singles to right. And St. Thomas with 2 men aboard now for Savarino.
That batting, number 33, Tuscan Savarino.
Shell at second, Coco at first, Savarino at the dish. Lenz on deck for St. Thomas. Hansen with a look in, and he's going to step off and reset here. Hansen spins around, thinks about the pickoff, doesn't make the throw. Delivery is going to be a ball. Savarino, 1 ball, no strikes. Ball 2, low and away. High and inside. 3 balls, no strikes from Hansen, delivering here to Savarino. As mentioned, Savarino with a strikeout and a walk today has come around to score once. That's going to be a strike. And Hansen, 3 balls, 1 strike. Strike 2 on the outside corner. Savarino. Oh, they call it a ball. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. Coach Craig Oglesby has thrown his clipboard out onto the field and he's ejected. I am really not sure what happened there. It looked like it was clearly a ball, clearly a strike. The umpire called a strike, and then they signaled for a ball. Got a slight conference going on. As of now, Savarino is standing on first base. And now they're going to call the Liberty coaches over, I believe, to explain this decision. It appeared to me that the home plate umpire called a strike. And there was some question to a base umpire, and the next thing we know, Savarino had walked to first base. Whatever the explanation is to Coach Johnny Isom, he's not satisfied. And I'm going to be very curious as to what that call was. See if I can get some information now or later. I don't know. What I do know is at this point, St. Thomas has loaded the bases again via a couple of walks and a single by Coco. We've got 1 out here. As we play, Lenz is digging in. And there's a strike called. No balls, 1 strike. 1 out in the inning. Logsdon popped over to the first baseman, Hasty. Hansen working. It's going to be laced. Just foul. Hard shot down that third base line. And Hansen has Lenz in a hole, 0-2. Bases loaded with 1 out here, 6-3. Liberty Christian still leads this ball game. That was going to be just a little bit low and outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Lenz, the batter. Lenz with a walk and a strikeout today. He was stranded at third in that last inning when St. Thomas left him loaded. That's going to be foul down the third base line. That'll keep the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bases loaded, infield playing in at the corners. They'll look for the home to first double play, or at least to cut off the run at home. Middle infielders playing at double play depth. Hansen ready, delivers. And it's just a bit high and outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Lenz, the left fielder. And that was on the outside corner. St. Thomas is not going to like that call. But Hansen rings him up. And that's going to be the second out of the inning. Leaves the bases loaded. Lenz goes down on strikes for the second time, and that's going to bring up Moore. He's walked and flied out. And that ball delivery outside. Ball 1 to Lenz. Can feel the tension in this game ratcheting up here. St. Thomas with a chance to add to their total. Swing and a miss from Moore. Mentioned he walked his last at bat, flied to the right fielder in his first at bat of the day. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here. It's high. It's going to get away from Colson Powers. He's safe. Safe on the pass ball. It looked like the umpire was ready to call him out, but I believe Powers may have dropped the ball. Allowed Shell to come around to score. It was ball 2, so it's 2 balls and a strike to Moore. Second and third for the Eagles. 2 ball, 1 strike count to Moore. That one catches the outside corner. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes now with 2 out. Warriors a pitch away from limiting the damage here. And they do it. Swing and a miss. Moore goes down swinging for the 3rd out. And the Eagles are going to strand 2. We go to the top of the 5th. Your new score, Liberty Christian 6, St. Thomas 4. Back with you on the TAPS TV and radio network coverage of the 2019 State Baseball Championships. Brandon Brunson back with you as Pryor Thomas digs in here in the top of the 5th, facing Jack Shell. He shows the bunt, doesn't offer, and that's ball 1 from Shell. Swing and a miss. He was count at 1-1. Third baseman Coco creeping in, playing just at the cutout, watching for the bunt. See if Liberty tries to manufacture any runs here in the inning. Try to get a man on base. That's going to be inside. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Answers at one on the outside portion of the plate. That's the third baseman. Makes the play. And that's the first out of the ball of the inning. Coco to lead.
Now batting for the Warriors, number 10, Brett Huff.
Brings up Brett Huff. His last at bat, he hit a towering home run to the left center field power alley. Single in his first trip, so Huff is 2 for 2 today. This is the ideal time to face Huff with the bases empty. And that's ball one. Low and away. 2 balls, no strikes to Huff. Got a hitter's count. Wind blowing right to left still. Wind wasn't a factor on his 2-run home run. It was well out of this ballpark. Curve ball. It's going to catch the outside portion of the plate, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike to Brett Huff. Shell working from the stretch. That was going to be a little bit low. 3-1 to count to Huff. Another hitter's count here. See if they turn him loose. He's going to be sitting on one spot, one location here. And he didn't get it. But he did get the walk. So Brett Huff with the 1-out walk, and that's going to bring up Creighton Hansen. Now in the game is the pitcher.
Now batting, number 16, Creighton Hansen.
Creighton Hansen. Pitch in there for strike one. Just noticing that Coach Billy Jordan is calling the signals in the third base box, so perhaps Johnny Isom was asked to leave this game, or maybe he just wants to not be out there. I don't know. Throw over. Huff back in plenty of time. Shell working from the stretch to Creighton Hansen. And lines one in the gap in right center, and that's going to get down. Cut off just before it gets to the wall. Brett Huff steaming around second. He's going to go to third and be held up by Coach Billy Jordan. But a 1-out double to deep right center for Creighton Hansen. And now Liberty Christian with 1 out has something working here in the top of the 5th inning. As Mason Packwood's going to dig in here to face Jack Shell.
Number 24, Mason Packwood.
Packwood with a single and a fly out to right field in his 2 trips to the plate. Shell sitting at 31 pitches, so he's got a ways to go as well. Working from the stretch. It's going to be high and away for ball one. Infield in, looking to cut the run down on a ground ball. And there's one deep, medium depth. That's going to actually be Logsdon. He's going to make the play, and it's shallow enough. Good throw in. And that's going to freeze the runner. He's not able to tag up and score. So runners remain at second and third for Joe Wolf, designated hitter.
22, Joe Wolf.
Joe Wolf with a chance to pick up the runners here. First delivery high and outside for ball one. Single of any depth ought to score a couple here. Bunts off with 2 outs. That one misses just outside. 2 balls, no strike. 2 balls, no strikes to designated hitter Joe Wolf. Jack Shell working out of the stretch. He's got the signal, ready to go. Wolf's going to foul it out of play. If Wolf were to reach, Colson Powers is on deck. And it's going to bounce in low and inside. Wolf way ahead in the count, 3-1. He'll be sitting on that one spot, one location here at the 3-1 count. Oh, saw something he liked. It looked like it was a little bit low and in, but he offered at it, and it's a full count. Had a good cut. At full count, 3-2 with 2 out. Runners will be going on the pitch here. On contact, I should say. Shell ready to deliver. And that one's going to be just a bit up in the zone. And Wolf is aboard.
Now batting number 33, Colson Powers.
With the 2-out walk, and that's going to bring up Colson Powers. Colson singled to center and flied to left field in his 2 at-bats, and Liberty Christian, with 2 outs, has the bases loaded. They look to capitalize and add to their lead. Oh, well outside. Good job by Savarino there to keep that from getting past him into the wall. As we mentioned yesterday, a lot of foul territory, a lot of room behind home plate. If that gets by the catcher, that run's going to score. Nothing the defense could do about it. Shell with the stretch, ready to deliver. That's skied. Is it going to be in play? Savarino's giving it a look, and it's just out of play. One ball, one strike to count to catcher Colson Powers. As we mentioned, the future Midland College chaparral. Shell with a look over to first. Nobody holding the runners there. Got bases loaded. That ball well outside off the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike to count to Powers. Wears uniform number 33. Defense straight away. Infield playing back, looking for that final out of the inning. Can be taken at any base. That one's going to be inside, taken for a ball. Powers at 3-1, and now I would suspect he's looking for that one spot and maybe taking a pitch anyway, because here a walk is an RBI for Colson Powers. Shell ready to go. Oh, laced just over the head of Coach Billy Jordan. Hot shot, Colson Powers. And that makes the count full, 3-2. So the runners again will be going on contact, this time with the bases loaded. Shell working from the stretch again. He's going to take the long look in. He's ready. Powers is ready. Well, actually, he's taking a bit of a longer look in here. The delivery. Oh. Thought it might have hit him. Doesn't matter either way. That's a walk for Powers and an RBI. So that's going to bring Huff across the plate. Hanson to third. Wolf to second. Powers to first. And the bases remain full now for Noah Hopkins. 2 trips to the plate. He struck out and flied to left field. The Warriors have pushed one more across here, and they now lead 7-4 here as we play in the top of the 5th inning. Hanson. Oh, good pitch from Shell actually to Hopkins. Curveball in there for strike 1. Shell picking up the pace, working a little quicker. There's a one skied to shallow left center. That's going to be taken care of by shortstop Rizzo, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. The Warriors add one more to their lead. And as we go to the bottom of the 5th, it is Liberty Christian 7, St. Thomas 4 on the TAPS TV Radio Network.
I don't care if I never get back, let me root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. The prairie sky is wide and high, deep in the heart of Texas. The sage and blue is like perfume, deep in the heart of Texas. Reminds me of the one I love, deep in the heart of Texas. The coyotes wail along the trail, deep in the heart of Texas. Rabbits rush around the brush, deep in the heart of Texas. The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. The prairie sky is wide and high, deep in the heart of Texas. The sage and blue is like perfume.
Now batting, number 21, Peter Corbett.
Brandon Brunson back with you here. TAPS TV and Radio Network coverage of the 2019 State Baseball Championship, the Division I game currently going on. 7-4, Liberty Christian leading St. Thomas. As Creighton Hanson delivers a ball to Peter Corbett to start the bottom of the 5th. Corbett with a walk and a strikeout today. Here on the inside portion of the plate, called strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Peter Corbett. And there's a strike. Called 1 ball, 2 strikes. Corbett, the right fielder today. Hit high from Hanson. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Off the inside portion of the plate. That's going to be ball 3. Full count here to Peter Corbett, who leads off this bottom of the 5th inning. And here come the St. Thomas fans pounding the stands again. Swing and a miss. Got it held on to by Colson Powers. And that's a strikeout swinging for the first out of the bottom of the 5th. 7 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Warriors.
Now batting, number 28, Trajan Lee.
4 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for St. Thomas. Trajan Lee digs in. And he looks at a call, strike 1. Lee with a walk, and then he bounced out to the pitcher. Ball 2. Ball 1, I should say. Correct that. 1 ball, 1 strike. rifled a bit high and outside. Now it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Trajan Lee plays first base today for St. Thomas. The delivery rifled in the right field line and out of play. Two balls, 1 strike to count to Trajan Lee. Working from the windup is Hanson. It's on the outside corner. And that's called strike 3. 2 up, 2 down. 1 strikeout swinging, 1 strikeout looking here in the bottom of the 5th.
Number 9, Will Rizzo.
Brings up number 9, Will Rizzo, the shortstop. He grounded out and has struck out in his 2 trips today. Swing and a miss. Vance starts him off 0-1. Wind blowing a little bit more. A bit stiffer wind right to left. Oh, Rizzo squares the bunt. Home plate umpire says he offered, and it's 0-2 quickly. Looks like what could be a really efficient inning here for Craig Hanson. He's got Rizzo 0-2. This ball bounces in there. Good ball 1 low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jack Shell, the pitcher, on deck. Ball high and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Grounder, see if that finds a hole in it. Oh, nice diving stop by the second baseman, but that's a base hit. Even with the stop, he wasn't going to get up and be able to make that throw. Winnetka out there with a nice stop, and that's going to bring up
for the Eagles, number 10, Jack Shell.
Jack Shell. Shell with a ground out to shortstop and then has walked both of his last trips to the dish. 2 out, 1 on for St. Thomas. So takes a long look into Coach Maziate to get the signals. Will lead at first, and the runner goes. Pitch low and inside. Throw from Powers is on target, but he's safe. Foul ball. One ball, 1 strike to count to Shell. Rizzo steals second. St. Thomas with a runner in scoring position here in the bottom of the 5th with 2 outs. It's going to be a little bit off the plate there. 2 balls and a strike. Shell looking to help his own cause here. And that's going to be a ball low and away. 3 balls, 1 strike to count here. Hanson working to Shell, bottom of the 5th inning, 7-4, Warriors over the Eagles. And there's a strike. A little portion of the plate, and it's going to bring the count full. Jack Shell. There's a nice curveball, and that's going to be flared into left. Third baseman under it. But Huff makes the play, and that retires the side. So, nothing across for the St. Thomas Eagles on 1 hit. We're going to move to the top of the 6th. Liberty Christian 6-7. St. Thomas 4 on the TAPS TV and radio network.
Tore his ACL last year, we were all devastated. We didn't think that a 13-year-old could have a problem such as that.
Children's Health Andrews Institute for Orthopedic and Sports Medicine not only repaired Aiden's ACL, but they gave him the knowledge and skills to prevent any future injuries.
Now, less than a year later, he's back to hitting homers and doing phenomenal.
Sun out of those hazel eyes, looking so good when she don't try, acting like it's no big deal, smiling underneath that view, looking so right, it's wrong, baby got a ball cap on, yeah, got a ball cap on, gotta love her when she's in a dress, always looking her best, but I tell you what I can't resist, when baby's got a ball cap on, she sure knows how to pull it off. Sun out of those hazel eyes, looking so good when she don't try. Acting like it's no big deal, smiling underneath that veil. Looking so right, it's wrong. Baby got a ball cap on. Yeah, got a ball cap on. She got a ball cap, a ball cap.
Brandon Brunson back with you as they finish up with Van Halen's Jump from the 1984 album.
Leading off for the Warriors, number 4, Hayden Winter.
Hayden Winter going to lead off top of the 6th for the Liberty Christian Warriors. He doubled to left center and flied to center field in his first 2 trips. Jack Shell continues to work here in the top of the 6th inning. First delivery is on the outside portion of the plate, and that's a strike called. 0-1 to Hayden Winter. Winter, the center fielder, going to foul that one out of play behind us and to the right, and it is no balls. 2 strikes to Winter. Still just a gorgeous day here. Our broadcast table outside the press box, but in the shade. Thank you very much. Shell working from the stretch, delivers. Low and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Winter. Swing and a miss. And Winter goes down swinging for the first out of the 6th inning. It's going to bring up Jacob Hasty, who started this game pitching. Been on a couple of times, once via a walk and once via the error. It's going to be low and inside. 1-0. And that one's well outside. Ball 2. Jacob Hasty up in the count. 2-0. And that's ball 3 up in the zone. And there's strike 1 delivered to Hasty. 3 balls, 1 strike. He was taken all the way there on 3-0. 3-1, probably again one of those one spot. If he locks it, he's going to be free to swing, and he does. And that's driven deep to left. That's gone. Jacob Hasty with the solo shot to left field, just to the left of the scoreboard. Our second home run of the tournament, second home run of the ball game, both by Liberty Christian. And the Warriors add to their lead. It's now 8-4, Liberty Christian. That's going to bring a visit to the mound from Coach Adam Masiate. And we'll see if the Eagles decide to make a change here. It's now 8 runs on 8 hits, no errors for Liberty Christian. 4 runs on 4 hits and a couple of errors for St. Thomas. So we are going to have a pitching change. We're going to step away here on the TAPS TV and radio network as they make the change. We'll have the pertinent information for you when we come back in just a moment. Brandon Brunson back with you here on the TAPS TV and radio network. New pitcher is number 36, Wilson Woodcocks. So Shell closed the book on him. He's going to go back to second base, return to his original position. 3 2/3 for Shell. 3 runs on 3 hits, all 3 earned, walked 3, struck out 1. Good effort. Holding the line and keeping St. Thomas in this game. That first delivery high and inside from Woodcocks to Pryor Thomas. 1 ball, no strikes. Thomas struck out, singled, and grounded out to the third baseman, and he's going to punch one to the pitcher. Woodcocks toss over first baseman Lee, and that is the first out, second out of the inning, 1-3 on that put out. Bringing up Brett Huff.
Now batting for the Warriors, number 10, Brett Huff.
Huff with a single, the home run, and then walked in his last at bat. He scored 2 of those 3 times on base. Woodcocks looked like he slipped maybe a little bit, but he's able to get that one over for strike 1 to Huff. Curious about this turf, and maybe that was well outside. One ball, 1 strike to Brett Huff. Batter calls time. Woodcocks delivers just inside, almost hit the batter. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here. Top of the 6th. Oh, and that's going to hit him. Huff hit by pitch, and he's going to be on the hard way. Curveball didn't quite curve there from Wilson Woodcocks, and that's going to bring up Creighton Hansen. Creighton Hansen. Going to give Huff a moment to shake that one off. Long look there as they let Huff get ready to go, and he's ready. He's going to take his lead. Billy Jordan has given the signal to Creighton Hansen, and we're set to go. Woodcocks into the stretch. Delivers low and away to Hansen, ball one. 1-0. 2 outs here. One across for Liberty on the hasty home run. And there's a pickoff. Good job, Woodcocks. Caught Huff leaning. And that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning. So just the single run across as we move to the bottom of the 6th. 8-4, Liberty Christian on the TAPS TV and Radio Network.
Brody Logston.
Brandon Brunson back with you on the TAPS TV and Radio Network. Brody Logston digs in here, takes a cut at the first offering from Creighton Hansen. Some no balls and 1 strike here. Bottom of the 7th. Eagles with 2 more chances here. Wave and a miss from Logston, and it's now 0-2. Logston with a walk, a single, and then popped out to foul territory. Jacob Hasty handled it in foul territory. There's a good curveball from Hansen, and that was a strike. Logston knew it, wasn't able to pull the trigger. And that's the 1st out of the inning for the Liberty Christian Warriors. You really want to try to... Daniel Coco now up. He bats, he's the 3-hole hitter. That one left up for ball 1. Coco with a couple of hits today, 2 singles and a strikeout, 2 for 3 on the day. And that was going to be just outside. Ball 2, 2-0. St. Thomas would really like to do something here, get some runners on at the top of the lineup here. There's a hard shot to the shortstop. Long throw over. And he makes the play. The 2nd out of the inning.
Now batting for the Eagles, number 33, Tuscan Severino.
Brings up the catcher, Tuscan Savarino. Struck out and has walked twice. So that would make him officially 0 for 1 today. Ball off of the inside portion of the plate, and it's going to be 1-0 to Savarino. Up in the zone, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. Well, off the plate inside again, and that's 3-0. Hanson to Savarino. Bottom 6. And there's the leadoff walk on 4 pitches. That should bring the St. Thomas crowd to life, and right on cue it does.
Now batting number 23, Gabe Lenz.
We have that courtesy runner in. That's going to be Casares stepping in again to run for Savarino. Mateo Casares, courtesy runner. Lenz the batter. Swing and a miss. Casares takes second on the throw. Stolen base for Casares. And now the Eagles get a man in scoring position. Ball was a strike on Lenz. Wonder if George's going to ask about potential interference here by the batter. He gets the explanation, and he is satisfied. And headed back to the dugout. No balls, 1 strike to Lenz. Sars second. 2 outs. Skied straight back, foul and out of play. And Lenz down in the count, 0-2. Bounced in there. Good job by Colson Powers. Keeping that one in front of him. Runner not able to advance. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swing, pounded foul. Nice play by Coach Adam Mazziate down the left field line. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. .105 here. Second game scheduled to start at 1:30. We're going to be off of that schedule. Swing and a miss. Lenz goes down swinging for the 3rd out of the inning. Nothing across for St. Thomas Eagles. We move to the top of the 7th. Eagles will have 1 more chance, but Liberty's coming up to bat 8-4 on the TAPS TV and radio network. Back with you on the TAPS TV and radio network.
Creighton Hansen.
Creighton Hansen steps in to face Wilson Woodcocks here, top of the 7th. First pitch swinging, and Creighton Hansen's got one into the gap, cut off quickly by Brody Logston. But Hansen aboard via the leadoff single, his second hit of the day. And that's going to bring up Mason Packwood, who is 1 for 3 today. He singled to left field in his first at-bat of this championship game. Woodcocks with the throw over to first. Oh, low and away. It gets away from the catcher. And they're putting pressure on him. He's going to make a big turn, and it's a good thing he turned back around. Good throw from the catcher as he got to it to limit the damage there. That's Adam Johnson in to run for Hansen, and he gets to second base. And there's one that's going to be handled, it looks like, by the third baseman. It is. Packwood pops out to the third baseman. Adam Johnson stays at second base. That's going to bring up DH Joe Wolf.
Now batting number 22, Joe Wolf.
Ball up and outside from Woodcocks for ball 1. Wolf has grounded out a couple of times and walked. Woodcocks in the stretch. Johnson with the lead. Rifled out of play down the left field line. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out here. Top of the 7th, Liberty Christian with a runner on board at second base. That's courtesy runner Adam Johnson in for Creighton Hansen, who singled. Woodcock with a long look in. Too long for Wolf. Wolf calls timeout. Steps out, will reset, try it again. Way high and outside, and that's going to be ball 2. Wolf at the dish. Colson Powers waits on deck. Runner with a huge secondary lead. Swing and a miss from Joe Wolf. And Adam Johnson scampers back to second base. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Swing. And that's going to be just out of play down the third base side. Joe Wolf fights one off. Count remains 2-2. Swing and a miss. Joe Wolf goes down swinging for the 2nd out of the inning. Going to bring up Colson Powers. Powers officially 1 for 2. A single, a walk. Fly to the left fielder. 2 outs here, top of the 7th. Liberty Christian 8, St. Thomas 4. Liberty looking to defend their Division I state championship from a year ago. Big swing and a miss from Colson Powers. That one, that one up in the zone. He couldn't quite catch up to the high heat. Wind still blowing pretty stiffly from right to left here. Woodcock's ready to deliver. Up and in for ball 1. Look down the right side. Now I see Fort Worth Christian has arrived, ready for their state championship game, as have the Incarnate Word Angels. And there's a strike delivery in the inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Colson Powers. Angels played a good game last night, losing to Lutheran South 3-0, and they're here to finish it off, see who takes the Division II championship. Good season for the Angels. Coach Josh Aguas. It's going to be off the corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top 7. It was going to bounce in, and another good job by Savarino. Keeping the ball in front of him and keeping Adam Johnson at second base. Savarino's done that at least a couple of times here. Full count. Oh, and that's a delivery. It's going to get away from the catcher. It's going to be ball 4. And with the passed ball, Adam Johnson's going to move to third, and we have a walk. Powers walks. And a courtesy runner here. That's Adam Johnson actually right now. So I've been calling that one wrong. My apologies. First and third for Liberty Christian. Noah Hopkins digs in. It was Gabe Ramirez courtesy running. My apologies for the mistake. Just off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike to Noah Hopkins. 0 for 3 today, struck out, and he's flied out to left field and popped to the shortstop. Swing and a miss. Hopkins, and it's now 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners first and third got courtesy. Both of the runners on are courtesy runners. Ramirez at third, Johnson at first. Woodcock's with a delivery. And Johnson's going to take second base. Had a huge secondary lead. And now Liberty with 2 runners in scoring position, men at second and third, and Noah Hopkins with a 2-2 count. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 2 on for Liberty Christian. Well outside. Savarino does a good job bringing that one back in, and it's a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, which means on contact the runners will be moving. Noah Hopkins looking to get something in play safely. Trying to get some insurance runs here for Liberty Christian. Didn't do it, but he does draw the walk. That one's well off the plate. And he draws the 2-out walk. And the bases are now loaded. Ramirez, the courtesy runner, at third. Johnson, the courtesy runner, at first, and at second, and Hopkins now at first, and a visit from Coach Adam Maciate. mentioned we're off schedule. The next game is Lutheran South, the Lutheran South Pioneers from the Houston area looking to defend their Division II state championship, and they'll take on the Fort Worth Christian Cardinals out of District 1, a very good District 1. We're going to have a pitching change. Wilson Woodcox is coming off, and we'll step away on the TAPS TV and radio network, get the pitching change, and be back with you shortly.
Number 9, Will Rizzo. Now batting, number 4, Hayden Winter.
Brandon Brunson back with you here on the TAPS TV and radio network. Will Rizzo, new pitcher for the St. Thomas Eagles. His first delivery will be high and away to Hayden Winter. Winter had a double in his first at bat, flew to the center fielder and struck out. To reset here, bases full of Warriors with 2 out here in the top of the 7th inning. Winter looking to capitalize on this and give some insurance to Liberty Christian, and he's up 2-0. Jacob Hasty at the top of the order will be back up if Winter were able to get on base here. It's going to be off the plate, and 3-0 to Hayden Winter. Jacob Hasty last time up with a solo home run to the left of the scoreboard. There's a strike from Rizzo. 3 balls, 1 strike. I would expect Winter to probably take a look at another one. Walk is an RBI in this instance. And he's swinging. Got a good pitch to look at. Fouls it off down the right side. And now Rizzo a strike away from limiting the damage here. Full count. Runners will be off on contact. Rizzo working from the windup. Runners going. There's a line shot to right field. And a nice catch. Peter Corbett with a nice play in right field. Makes the catch. And the Warriors leave them loaded. We go to the bottom of the 7th. 8-4. Liberty Christian leading St. Thomas in the Division I championship here on the TAPS TV and radio network. Back with you here for the last half inning, we think anyway. Unless St. Thomas can rally 4 runs here. Creighton Hansen works here in the bottom of the 7th and delivers a strike. And Coach Maciate is not happy about that call. Boy, both sides have been really upset about the balls and strikes called here today. Moore takes strike 1. Skies one to shallow right. It actually is going to be the second baseman taking care of it. And that's the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up number 21, Peter Corbett, who made a nice sliding catch to end that last half inning. Corbett has walked once, struck out twice here today. Creighton Hansen continues to work well up and away. Ball 1. Off the inside portion of the plate. Ball 2. Hitters count here for Corbett. St. Thomas going to have to get some base runners in a hurry here. And there's a strike called in the inside corner. 2 balls, 1 strike. Corbett. Ball high. 3 balls, 1 strike. Eagles want to get somebody on in any way they can here. Need base runners. Swing and a miss. And Corbett wins the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Creighton Hansen working to Corbett. Swing and a miss. And St. Thomas down to their final out.
Number 28, Trajan Lee.
Trajan Lee is going to step in for the Houston St. Thomas Eagles as Liberty Christian parents crowd the fence. Let's look at strike 1. They're ready for the photo opportunity. They're a couple of strikes away here from defending their Division I championship and going back-to-back. That's a ball high. I'd like to point out, as the private school coordinator, my prediction at the beginning of the year was that Liberty Christian would defend their state championship. Pitch high. For ball 2. 2 balls and a strike to Trajan Lee. That one's off the plate. Ball 3. And that went off the plate as well. So Trajan Lee draws a 2-out walk. Going to bring up the current pitcher, number 9, Will Rizzo. Going to get a courtesy runner here. Or a pinch runner, probably, because that's the first baseman. Trajan Lee. It's going to be number 4. 4 is Mateo Casares. Will Rizzo in face Creighton Hansen. And called strike 1 on the outside corner. Rizzo grounded to the second baseman, struck out, and then singled in his last at bat. Curveball. A little bit high. Ball and a strike to Rizzo. And that one catches the upper portion of the strike zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and now St. Thomas down to their final strike. Now we're setting up outside. Bounces it in. Runner's going to take second base on defensive indifference there. Two balls, 2 strikes. Does get the runner into scoring position for the Eagles. Laces one down the right field line. That's fair. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. That's going to score Casares. And digging for third is Rizzo, and he's in without a throw. Slides in safely. And Rizzo with a nice triple down the right field line. Waits Casares. And St. Thomas has a run in. And they have life. That brings them back to the top of the order. Number 10, Jack Shell. And that's a ball off the outside portion of the plate to Shell. 1 ball, no strikes. It's going to be off the inside portion of the plate. Ball 2. 2-0 to Shell, with Rizzo at third base after that triple down the right field line. And that's going to be off the inside portion of the plate and a little low for ball 3. Shell has drawn a couple of walks today and also grounded out to the shortstop. He's way ahead to count 3-0, and that's a strike from Creighton Hansen. 3-1. Another strike from Creighton Hansen right down the heart of the plate. And again, St. Thomas down to their last strike. And there's a flare into left field. That could be trouble. And it goes just foul. Hopkins gave it a look over there. Foul by just a couple of feet. And Jack Shell stays alive with the Eagles down to their final strike. Timeout, you're going to change the baseball. Eight to 5 your score here. Well, that's going to be a ball inside. St. Thomas stays alive for another batter, and that actually brings up Brody Logsdon. Sam Houston State commit and a very dangerous hitter.
Number 45, Brody Logsdon.
St. Thomas. Logsdon with a walk, a single, hopped to first base and struck out his last time up. There's a ball outside to start the at-bat. Creighton Hansen working to Brody Logsdon. And that's going to be a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hansen working to Brody Logsdon. Olsen setting up there, staying away, outside portion, staying away from Brody Logsdon. I want him to get anything that he can get down that left field line where the wind's blowing out just slightly to left. 2 balls and a strike. Swing, and there's a chopper. Catcher fields, throws, makes it, and that's the ball game, folks. Liberty Christian Warriors have defended their Division I state championship here at Crosby, and the celebration begins for the Liberty Christian Warriors as they are going to be your Division I state champions 2019. Johnny Isom walks it off for the career as a baseball coach, wins his last game, and it's the state championship game. Liberty Christian wins this one 8-5. Last play would be scored 2-3, I'm sorry, as catcher Colson Powers pounced on the bouncer from Brody Logsdon. And Liberty Christian, again, your Division I state champion, as we have the handshake here. Final line across for Liberty Christian, 8 runs on 9 hits, no errors. For the Eagles, 5 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors. 2 home runs for Liberty Christian today. Brett Huff with that mammoth 2-run shot. Jacob Hasty with a solo shot to left field. And again, as we said earlier, a veritable offensive explosion here. 8-5. Haven't seen that many runs scored almost combined yesterday among the teams that played all the games yesterday. Great season for St. Thomas out of the always tough District 4 Division I. They were the Liberty Christian Warriors representing District 1, the veritable toughest district in the state district. They were the second place team, but last night defeated the district champion Fort Worth All Saints. And then today close it out and send Johnny Isom home a champion. We're going to step away for the presentation of awards.
Please come forward to receive your medal when your name is called. All tournament team members include All Saints Episcopal, Mason Speaker, Easton Failer, Concordia Lutheran High School, Jacob Bryant and Jarrett Young. Liberty Christian, Joe Wolf. Creighton Hansen. Mason Packwood. And Brett Huff. For St. Thomas High School, Josh Wolf. Jack Shell. Tuscan Severino. And Daniel Coco.
At this time, we will have the award ceremony. And making the presentation today is Executive Director Brian Bunselmeyer. We would like to recognize St. Thomas High School for a great season that has them finishing as a state runner-up in TAPS Division I State Baseball Tournament. The Eagles were led by head coach Adam Mazziotti. Coach Mazziotti will now hand out medals to his team. Number 2, Chris D'Elia. Number 3, Ryan Moore. Number 4, Mateo Caceres. Number 7, Grant Stringer. Number 9, Will Rizzo. Number 10, Jack Shell. Number 11, Daniel Coco. Number 13, Justin King. Number 14, Bradley Batterson. Number 15, Donovan Hamilton. Number 16, Thomas Sage. Number 17, Max Chung. Number 18, Thomas Snow. Number 19, Nicholas Steiner. Number 21, Peter Corbett. Number 22, Tucker Alch. Number 23, Gabriel Lenz. Number 24, Joshua Wolf. Number 25, Adriel Lopez. Number 26, Jackson Phillips. Number 27, Thomas Garcia. Number 28, Trajan Lee. Number 32, Theodore Mai. Number 34, Jackson Crawford. Number 35, Hayden McKeon. Number 33, Tuscan Savarino. Number 36, Wilson Woodcocks. Number 40, Keaton Lipman. Number 44, Connor Call. Number 45, Brody Logsdon. Assistant coaches, Austin Cardin, Jeff McCurry, Kurt Jankowski, Richard Porth, and Luis Sanchez. Congratulations to St. Thomas High School on a great season. And here is your state runner-up plaque. And now, congratulations to Liberty Christian High School for a great season, has been finishing as state champion in the TAPS Division I State Baseball Tournament. The Warriors are led by head coach Johnny Isom. Coach Isom will now hand up state championship medals to his team. Number 1, Adam Johnson. Number 2, Gabe Ramirez. Number 3, Noah Hopkins. Number 4, Hayden Winter. Number 5, Zachariah Wallace. Number 6, Cameron Benny. Number 7, Truett Walker. Number 8, Pryor Thomas. Number 9, Connor Jeffers. Number 10, Brett Huff. Number 11, Christopher Boudreau. Number 12, Dylan Daggett. Number 14, Ben Folk. Number 15, Ryan Bishop. Number 16, Creighton Hansen. Number 17, Jacob Hasty. Number 18, Landon Wolf. Number 20, Chase Wanaka. Number 23, Cade Macklin. Number 24, Mason Packwood. Number 25, Samuel Miller. Number 22, Joe Wolf. Number 25, Samuel Miller. And number 33, Colson Powers. Assistant coaches, Billy Jordan, Craig Oglesby, Eric Howell, and Mark Henderson. Congratulations to Liberty Christian High School on a great season, and here's your state championship trophy and banner. Congratulations to both programs.
And that's the awards presentation, and that's going to wrap it up for the Division I championship. Once again, Liberty Christian wins and defends. They are back-to-back Division I state champions, 8-5 over St. Thomas. We'll take a short break and be back with you to bring you the Division II championship game on TAPS TV and Radio Network.